Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Today we're going to be talking about Werewolf, Earthbound. Um, this game was a very intriguing game when we first saw it coming out. We loved the concept. It was in a game where we saw it when we saw the trailer for it. It seemed like a game where it'd be great when it came out, but it really hit it in a drop as soon as we played it. The story has a great concept. It's a great concept of a game. It really falls apart on uh, voice and graphics completely. Except for the main character, you can see how they did not tighten up the graphics, except for the main character. The werewolf is fantastic, though. It's a great
Good natured game. Like if people like dogs and like wolves and
and
stuff like
animals.
that,
Yeah,
it's a cool game for that. But outside of that, the fighting mechanic is so bland. Like within the first 20 minutes, you realize that it's repetitive. Facial animations are pretty much like non-existent. Like facial
oh my
animations, like people
god,
trying to smile, they don't smile.
no.
When they try to talk, the lip syncing with the voice just isn't there. It was like almost like if you saw like a foreign video and it was translated in English and the lip sync was just not with the voice at all.
And the
Um,
movement was horrible as well. Like the character movement,
but
besides the main
like
character, it's just it was not synced right. It was so stiff. It just you looked at it, you're
It was
like,
way too
what in
stiff.
the
I
world?
found that the only one, in my opinion, that actually felt not stiff was when you're actually the wolf. The werewolf even felt stiff. Like the actual movement of the werewolf felt stiff.
Yes, the wolf. When you were the wolf, the wolf is fantastic. Like, this is a great little thing where you could run around like a wolf. They gave the wolf like Jordan hops though. It's amazing how high the wolf can actually jump. Because in real life, you look at a wolf, the wolf's not going to be able to jump that high. But it's amazing they gave the in the game they gave the wolf a
He
Jordan
literally
jump.
jumps twice the height of Master Chief.
It's incredible. The werewolf, yes, the werewolf is stiff. It has two forms. And one of them is just pure power. The other one is for agility. Yes, they are stiff until you start doing some movements, and then it doesn't feel as stiff. But if you're just walking around, it does feel stiff.
The wolf itself was lackluster.
They really should have. Yeah,
It was very
the
lackluster.
wolf basically just to walk around, basically sneak around. But they really should have incorporated him a little bit more, like giving him some takedowns or or give him some attacks or something like that.
And like whenever you did like the takedowns, it would like transition you from being a wolf to human, but
Yeah,
not change you back to the wolf when you did after the takedown was complete.
that's one of the things that we actually found a problem with was that you do the takedown and all of a sudden you stayed human instead of just reverting back to the wolf that you already were, which would have made a little bit more sense because you were already wolf doing a takedown. Sure, okay, human takedown, well, then turn back to wolf and continue walking around. But no, you have to do the extra step of turning yourself back into a wolf. The story though is a great concept.
Downs, there's like three or four different takedowns, and they're all just all right. I mean, they're basic.
Yes,
They didn't incorporate that very well. There's no like true looting in this game.
no, there's no
Um,
weapons really. It's just
the,
basically one weapon that you start out with, which is a kind of like a mini crossbow gun, which you can upgrade it throughout the game and change.
well, all forms have upgrades.
Oh yes,
Wolf
yes.
has upgrades. Werewolf has upgrades. But these upgrades are based on two factors. One is you go around um, looking for spirits. Those spirits give you spirit points. Those spirit points can turn into levels. Those levels turn into upgrades for your werewolf, your person, or your wolf. Or just by simple combat, attacking, and such, you can gain spirit points from killing enemies. It's pretty gory. Definitely not recommended for kids
That could definitely
or
be
even
good.
around kids.
it is a
and
very
getting
gory
pretty
game.
gory.
It's a very gory, bloody game. There is an option to turn that off in the game. So if you do want your kid to play, if your kid does want to play, you do have the option of turning off the blood in settings. I like the direction you went with the story. It just you lose interest because of such bad lip sync and such bad graphics.
No execution on making the experience for people to just want to play more, want to reach out and make the player want to play more and more. No multiplayer elements. So once you complete the story, it's pretty much a one and done. It's like any other one and done game. There's no replay value to this. You get more replay value out of playing a sports game than this game. Outside of that, this game would be pretty much one of those games you just, if you had 8 hours of your day to play this, it's okay. But I don't really recommend this game being for people who want to find a game that they want to deep dive in for 60 hours. You're better off just waiting and getting something like Final Fantasy, or getting a 60-hour plus game like Persona, or um, like going after, if you want an RPG element game, this is just not, this one's not for the average consumer.
This is basically a game where you put in some, a couple of hours a day and complete this game, or you can just complete this game in maybe a day or two just by putting hours and doing it. And it really is not that long of a game. The way it is at the moment, just a blah game. It feels just like incomplete. Like they just thought it was ready, but he didn't finish it off right. He partially completed this. It feels like a partially completed game. Way the graphics
This
are.
game could have honestly used, I think, another year of development.
I agree. Definitely could have. They could have.
One more year of just getting the lip sync right, the graphics, tighten them up a little bit, getting the control elements down to where the controls don't feel so tight when you're trying to move your characters. The environment is lackluster. They could have done more to make the environment feel better. It feels like a hybrid of, like, the buildings felt more like what you saw in Infinite Warfare. Like some areas felt like super developed and futuristic, and then like in other areas it felt like you're in the middle of nature and there's like a base, and they're all like, the outside of the base is like made of tree, but the inside has like the same aesthetic as a fully developed building.
And you got
Like they're
then you have too many spots that make no sense of why they're there. So you end up going around doing missions, and all of a sudden you find like 5 to 7 areas that there's nothing there, but they're like pretty good sized areas where you could either find something, or it could be like an enemy there, or something, but there's nothing there. It's like they didn't really fully think out every part of the game, every part of the map.
the thing that kind of bothers me about this game is there's no incentive to push toward being aggressive or being stealth. If you're someone who wants to play a stealth, you can play a stealth. If you want to play all out, you can play all out. There's no increase in rewards. There's no decrease in rewards. It literally is the same exact thing. Like, one level, you could literally just stealth it out. The next level, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna turn into a werewolf and then split these guys in half.
We've tested this because I did stealthy while my boy here Stars went all out and just sliced and diced everyone he saw. And we actually saw that we got the same rewards, we leveled up the same, and there was nothing different.
They did not make anything. They literally let you choose the path you wanted to take, all out or stealth. Yeah, maybe for people who are trophy hunting, there's probably trophies related to both. But the game does not have a risk and reward system where if you played all out and you played as the werewolf 90% of the time, like, you weren't rewarded based on your werewolf abilities or whatever. Same goes for being stealth like. You weren't rewarded for being a wolf or being a human. They didn't do a very good job capitalizing on that. Instead of the spirit points route, they should have built it into, if you're playing stealth and added like some sort of rewarding system. It would have been nice to have, like, okay, if you were stealth this round, you got rewards towards your crossbow, or you got rewards based on, you know, being stealth, you got like extra weaponry or something like a nicer sword or a nicer blade of some sort. It would have been nice to see. On the werewolf side, if you would have done that, increased health, increased strength, increased abilities, blah blah blah. But they didn't execute on anything. It was just like, oh, here's a game, flawed by nature. The only thing they had right was it was gory. The minute you went into werewolf mode, that's like the only cool part is like when you go werewolf mode, like you can just wreak havoc. You can destroy everything in your sight, even a box. If there's a box in your way, you can destroy it. If there's this in the way, you can destroy it. Another negative part, though, is like when you're a wolf and you want to go through these like ventilation systems, you actually have to press a button to do it versus it just being seamless.
Yeah, you should really just be able to go through the vents. I don't understand why you have to actually you have to push a button to go through the vent, and then on top of that, they make you go into weird first person camera where you're like really close up, and it just feels really odd going through a vent. It's just a very very odd experience, a very bad experience with that. It doesn't feel seamless. It doesn't feel smooth at all. It just feels like it went straight from one way to another way, really like that when you press the button, and it does not give you great gameplay at all. The story does give
All
you a
right, so
great concept though. It does give you a great concept of what they're trying to do, which is it, you're basically an environmentalist. You love planet Earth. You're trying to go against the big companies that are polluting and being a danger to Earth and all that. It's a great concept story that they put together. They just really messed it up by not fine tuning their graphics, not lip syncing it correctly, by not having a seamless gameplay throughout the story. The cutscenes are very bad when you go through cutscenes in the story. It just not put together the way you would think that like this kind of game this would be like hey you like if you're trying to like go through a story like Halo, the the graphics in Halo are just out there
they're
unmatched.
always over the top, and
Of
you always look at them and you're like, how the heck did they get this to work on this hardware?
Yeah, and
I get it.
you would expect the way this concept of game was and the way you saw the trailers and stuff how this game would be. You expected such a great experience in this game, and you get let down so bad with once you play it. It just really when you first play it, we both like okay, all right, this is cool. This is interesting, and then once you get just past a little
And
bit
you're
of the game,
just
it just starts going down into a nosedive, and then you're hoping for a little bit of a relief and curve to come back up, and no, it just continues to go down, and it's just graphics. They did not fine tune it.
so let's determine if this game's a buy, wait for a sale, or avoid entirely.
I'd say you know what the concept of this game
I'm
is
borderline wait
fantastic.
on a sale.
It,
I'm
I
borderline
can't
waiting on a sale.
I can't go consciously say not to play this game. This game is has a fun factor to it. If they do come up with updates to fix things up on this game, I would say wait for a sale at the moment right now. Wait for a good sale for it, which I guarantee you're probably going to end up having for this game because this was
I
the
can see this game being a $15 budget holiday game. Like when holidays come around, I can see this being like a $15 game
oh yeah.
around holidays, like of 2021. Wait for a sale. Right, as of right now, I say completely avoid. Completely avoid. It's not worth your time. If you're going to spend $40 on the entry or $50 on the entry, you're better off buying, saving up $10, $15 and buying another game that is a AAA budget game, or a AAA hardcore fan. Like, let's just say you want to go play COD or something. You're better off just saving the $10, $15, $20 more and buying a better game. This game is not a $40, $50 game. Honestly, this should be in the like indies section where you could buy indie games for $20 to $30. This
Definitely
game should
agree.
not be 40 to fifty
Definitely agree. This
dollars.
game, the way that this product looks and the way it plays, it definitely feels like this game should be like 30 bucks max of a game to the cheapest of like 20 $19.99 or something, $20. The way they put this together does not fit a $50 game or more. Yeah, so definitely wait for a sale. If you see this on a sale, yeah, go ahead and try and see if you can get it for a good price. But don't go out of your way to try and buy this game.
Don't rush. Just if you find it intriguing, you find the elements of it interesting, wait for a sale. If not, I mean, go ahead and buy it. You're going to find yourself looking at why you bought it. Like, there was resentment in both of us about this game after.
Oh
Before, it
yeah,
was like, oh yeah, this game looks great, and then after we played, we're feeling resentment.
after we
Um,
played this, we literally like looked at each other and we're like, we spent almost $60 on this game. Why? It was a question we literally asked after we played this game. Was why? Why did we spend this much money on this game? Why? It just did not feel like we got what we paid for.
all right, so now it's time for the two-man crew appraisal.
The 2-man crew's appraisal for this game is
A 5.
thank you for watching this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.
And hit that notification bell so you can stay tuned for all of our latest content.
And share this with friends and family. Stay tuned for more content.